Hi friends, in Planet Earth Dating, it's Monday, February 1st, 2016. The authorized soul presence in the Lin Life is Ra. The authorized soul presence in the Jamie Body Mind is Jack. We have other teammates in other dimensions, most of us in the physical and most of us in the subatomic. We still have feelings of generic soul presence, which means there's an awful lot of unauthorized presence around. And all of our team leaders are, by and large, in a state of disruption. Our belief is that during the videoed portions of today's efforts, we are going to continue our work to support our team leaders in reestablishing themselves in their assignments. But we could be wrong. As always, the foundational intention is to do what is ours to do right now in all dimensions to manifest the divine plan. In the hierarchy above, it does seem to be noticed that the divine plan wasn't manifesting without a deadline, and so deadlines are being assigned. The next deadline in front of us is February 16th, 2016, just a little more than 2 weeks from now. We intend to do what is ours to do to meet those deadlines. With that, the videoed portions of today's efforts begin. One of the important jobs of all the team leaders' roles are to run the cables all the time.
That's true.
Setting a good example. Really long cables. They can be very thin, and we don't have to run them quickly while we're doing all the other things that are also for us to do. But if we aren't running the cables, we're setting a bad example. And the actual jobs of the team leaders are to make it cool to follow the rules that come to us from more truthful minds above. Tell us what to do in order to manifest the divine plan. Now it's up to us to follow the rules, and it's up to team leaders to inspire their team to follow the rules. And people basically tend to do what's cool. Everyone's kind of stuck in 7th grade, and that's just the way it is. Acknowledging that and working with that as a foundation works. Ignoring that doesn't work.
That's true. Starting to pulse the lives, pulsing up, way up onto the desks of those responsible. I think you left something here. I think this belongs to you.
Well, we don't want to be leaving it on the desks of the people who left them. We want to be leaving it on their boss's desk.
That's true. That's a good point, because if you leave the poop on the desk of the person who left them, they'll say, oh, thank goodness, I can now hide
it in a better
garbage
place.
can. That's true.
Right.
That's
I was worried someone would come across it. Thank you for delivering
bringing
it
back
me.
to
Right.
me. That's a really
we
good
want
point.
this to go to your boss.
That's true. You've already proven you don't have integrity.
And hopefully way up the line. Our intention is to get this as high up the line as we're able to get it.
The biggest fish we can get to.
Well, as high up the line as we're able to get it. Not necessarily to the biggest fish. Why would you assume you'd want to get it to the biggest fish? We have... it seems the biggest fishes are rotten to the core. The people with the microphones are the wrong people. Give the microphone to the skinny kid. Let's give it to the people who have integrity. Why would you want to give it to the big fish? They haven't. Have you found a single big fish who has any integrity?
No, that's true.
No, we're not going to give it to the big fish.
That's true.
We're giving it to the people with integrity.
With integrity. Oh, that's true.
I see this guy. I've seen him 3, 4, 5 times since we began.
Yeah.
And he is, I'm not sure who he is, but he's looking at dry earth and picking up things kind of like an archaeologist would. He kind of has the sense of how it was when we first became aware of Stan and Josie.
That's true.
This is a presence on a larger level. He notices something unusual. He doesn't know what it is, but he picks it up and puts it in his pocket or bag or something. True. He's going through the area looking for things that he wants to study.
That's true.
And he's picking up something that has to do with us.
That's true.
this land, it looks so arid. It has the sense that long ago there was a disaster here, maybe something like a nuclear disaster or something,
That
a
could
really
be.
long time ago, from whenever this gentleman is perusing the area. It was
That's
a really
true.
long time ago, and now life has started to come back, and there's a lot of sadness about the situation.
Yes.
And he's here looking for signals of something that will say something. Maybe it's okay to plant. I don't know what he's looking for, but he's looking for signals that it's ready to something. And most of the things he's finding seem to indicate it is not ready to
Something.
whatever it is
That's
he's
true.
checking for. It isn't ready. There's a strong signal 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 it isn't ready.
That's true.
Here's the chip that has to do with us, and he doesn't know for sure what it is, but he can feel this goes into the collection bag also.
That's true.
It's not ready, it's not ready. And now kind of like time is progressing, and he's at a table, a big work table, and all those things he collected are spread out in front of him, and he's kind of sorting them. These all show it isn't ready in a certain way, and
That's
these
true.
show it isn't ready in another way, and these show it isn't ready in another way, and these show it isn't ready in another way. That first pile was the biggest pile, and the second pile was the next biggest.
That's true.
Third is the next biggest. Fourth is the next biggest. He's going on and on, sorting things into piles, and then he comes to this chip that has to do with us, and I feel like I can wave at him, hi, but he doesn't see me.
No, he doesn't.
And this is unique, and he puts it there, and he's writing the notes about the big piles and describing them. This is something, and it shows this. This is something else, and it shows that,
That's true.
etc. And then he gets to this, and he says, and I don't know what this is.
I don't know what this means.
I don't know what this means, but there's only one of it,
That's
and I don't know
true.
whether that means I look at it first or last.
That's true. Live streaming up.
I'm streaming up past this guy. Well, whatever he does, we still have teammates in trouble.
That's true.
I would like to see if we can see what's going on with Kosa. She was in such bad shape last night.
That's true.
Kosa.
Kosa.
Well, she's here at least.
That's true. On the midline.
She's sick.
Dizzy.
Sick, not feeling good.
That's true.
She seems to be trying to do too much. It's like she's trying to sweep. She seems to be in the entry point, emerging epiphanies.
That's true.
Because when you feel like that, you're supposed to be sorting most true from least true and burning least true right away. You're supposed to be doing sitting cleaning work when you feel like that, because how can you sweep like that?
That's true.
Sit down, but take all the things that have happened as if coughing up all the events of the last couple of weeks.
Yes.
Since you felt strong,
Yes.
cough up everything that occurred since then and begin to burn least true right away. Sort most true from least true right away, burning least true. And very soon you'll get to something that gives you clarity, and you'll know you're there because you won't feel sick anymore.
That's true.
She says she learned that familiar isn't necessarily good.
That's true.
That's true. That's an important lesson.
That's true. Someone came to the level where she was working who was really familiar to her, and she was so happy to see him. And the next thing she knew, they were both way off the midline, and all the work had ground to a halt. And it was a mess.
Well, she seems on the mend. Let's see if we can check in with Garth. He was in a really bad place. He still feels so sick.
And it smells like untruths.
And it smells like sick people.
That's
you know how
true.
sick people smell?
Yes.
Garth, I'm not sure this is as good as it was last night even.
No, I
It
don't
might
think
be
so.
rotting. Something's rotting inside of you. So take that thing. I can see that you have tucked it away as if, well, I know this is true,
Yeah,
so I'm
it's
not
right
going to
there.
examine it. That's the thing that's not true. Just pull it on out. That thing. And he's saying, but how can that be untrue?
It's true.
It is. It's untrue. I don't know what it is, but it's quite clearly not true. Let's burn it. It kind of has the feeling of, what will I be without this thought?
That's true.
What you'll be is more effective.
That's true. Pull it
But
out.
he does have the feeling of, I don't know what to do without that thought. Well, we'll work through it.
That's true.
Let go of that. What Pan would say is,
It's better to know.
I miss Pan.
Miss Pan too.
I know I'm supposed to shift my focus to see what's happening with Asha and Luce. Is that
That's
okay
true.
with you?
That feels good. Garth feels like he's moving in the right direction.
That's the right direction. And now clean that place up, Garth, and now clean that up without that lie there. Now possibly just running cables and all the other basics as you have been doing will work.
That's true.
Just keep doing the basics without that lie present, and we'll check back with you as soon as we can.
Asha feels frustrated.
Right,
Like she doesn't know what to say to Luce that she hasn't already said before.
right.
And he's such a mess. He's such a pile of freak
He's
out.
a pile of freak out. He's just in total meltdown, and we almost can't get through to him.
Right,
when
everything
he's like
I say
this.
seems to make it worse.
Right.
And I don't feel like I can leave him alone, but I
No.
also don't know what to do here in the room with him. And so I feel like I'm just standing here watching him thrash around and not being very helpful.
When the son of this body mind was little, and he had so many issues as a baby, and we couldn't leave him alone, he would just work himself up into a frenzy. And so there was a long period of time where we would wear him on a sling. We
That's
had
true.
a baby sling, and we would just wear him, and he would calm down by being carried, and sometimes he would go to sleep.
That's true.
And that's what he really needed. I know what he wants is to be carried in a sling by the Lin Life. That's what he wants, and that's what he was hiding in the walls, and
That's true.
of the energy body, and we squeezed him out and said, Luce, this is not appropriate. You can't do this.
That's true.
And he just flipped out.
What he really needs is to sleep.
He does. He needs to sleep. And he isn't going to sleep anyplace else.
No, he's not going to sleep anyplace else.
And he's so disruptive.
Well, what is it about the Lin Life that makes him feel so calm and safe? What is he really looking
Luce,
for?
what are you really looking for?
What are you really looking for?
I want to feel safe. It's safe there. It's safe there. There isn't any other place that's safe. What do I know? I
Yeah.
know that lies are super hard for Luce.
That's true. They freak him
They
out.
freak him out. He's wired that way because he's supposed to be the canary in the coal mine.
That's true.
But now all dimensions are full of lies.
That's true.
And it's really hard for him to get away from them.
And so it's too much input coming in all the time.
It's too much. It's too much. It's not sustainable.
It's again that message about autism.
Yes, it's like autism. What happens to the autistic kids? It's an overload of lies. They
Too
can't.
much.
It's too much. It's too much untruth.
That's true.
They can't process it. If they were just able to be in a place where it was truthful, then they would be okay.
It could settle down. It could stabilize.
Right. We've tried. It's been, I don't know, 15 hours maybe.
Maybe 15
And
hours.
he's not getting any better.
No.
That's not making it better.
No, he's just making it worse. Thrashing.
Not in the walls, but how about in the Lin Life, but in public, kind of like, not in the walls.
In a
Don't go in the
noticeable,
walls.
visible place.
Like sleep on the couch in Ra's office or something.
Yeah.
I can see him through Ra's eyes as if that just happened. Now I can see somebody bringing him in.
That's true.
And he is in bad shape. And Ra is saying, somebody needs to stay.
Stay
like,
with
I'm not
him.
going to
Someone
babysit.
has to stay with him.
Somebody has to stay with him. I have work to do. He can sleep here, but I have work to do. Asha,
are you willing?
Are you willing to play this out a little bit longer? Come up here with Luce. There we go.
I'm willing.
And you just be with him and take care of him so that Ra can do his work. Okay.
He starts to feel better.
Starts to feel better.
I can tell you what I think.
Yes.
I think Luce isn't actually ever going to feel safe until he starts sorting most true from least true and burning least true for himself.
Well, and doing everything else. Until he starts following the rules, he isn't going to feel good. I don't think he's ever actually going to feel safe.
Of course not.
Yeah. Of course not. He needs to follow the rules. As long as he continues to break the rules, he's going to feel bad. The rules are what will keep him feeling good.
That's true.
But he doesn't seem to be able to grasp that.
No,
for such a smart man, he acts so stupid.
That's true.
Phil, how's Phil doing?
Phil.
Not well. How's Geoff doing?
Geoff feels stressed.
Yeah, not well.
Geoff feels like there are fires burning everywhere.
So, Geoff, what needs to happen is the basics. That's what's missing. The basics. This is what we were saying last night. You've got to keep the cables running and the crates and the sweeping going. Those are not optional. Everything collapses. We've already lost the full effort in thing 1 5 times over, and always for the same reason, because the basics are not being attended to. And this effort isn't going to be any different.
That's true.
It just isn't. It's always the basics. It comes back to the basics. You've got to handle the basics. Ask for volunteers. Experienced cable runners. Asking for volunteers calls the people who actually want to do the work, and people who want to do it do a better job.
That is true.
Ask for volunteers to run the cables. And I see piles and piles and piles of lies, crates of lies.
Stacked piled
everywhere. You've got all these lies. You could also just set fire to them.
That's
burn
true.
the lies.
Burn
have a big fire of lies. Burn least true.
That's true.
Floss only the teeth you intend to keep.
That's true.
Run cables only in the spaces you intend to keep truthful.
That's true.
These 2 John Dunbar guys have some big questions. They say they need their questions answered. They're saying this doesn't fit. It's something they were told. Yes, I can't tell what that is exactly, but it's not true. That's not true. Throw it away. What else doesn't fit? Now, that's not true either.
This whole big box of stuff isn't true.
That's not true.
That's true.
Just take that whole box of things and burn that as least true. It isn't true.
It's not true.
It isn't true. And they feel like old tools.
Yeah,
old
that's
tools.
true.
I don't know who left those here.
I don't know.
But they aren't
not true. Well, now they feel like they're off on a hunt for all those things that aren't true. It's like, well, if that box of stuff isn't true, then that whole truck of stuff isn't true.
Oh, definitely. That truck of stuff isn't true.
Then all of that isn't true.
Right. Those things aren't true. That's correct. None of those things are true. Burn them.
Burn.
Get them out of here. They aren't true. Better?
A lot better.
Let's check with Phil.